Well, I'm back in my parents' basement. And do I miss it, man? this whole thing, the podcast, Carson's Conversations, I miss it. That 6 months hiatus, I did not like it, honestly. I just couldn't bring myself to talk. I couldn't bring myself to break down my thoughts, break down my emotions, break down my process of doing things. It's been a weird 6 months. And man, do I miss talking into this microphone and analyzing what I'm doing. This is honestly my fourth take trying to do a podcast because I've lost the rhythm. I don't know how to do it anymore. It's kind of sad, but that's the way it is. Man, when you run away from something for too long, you're scared to hop back in. Things dry up. The well's done. I don't even know what I really want to talk about today, man. I'm just going to throw myself out there and try and be as honest as possible. Because we all know life now with the end of COVID hopefully nearing the end, has been strange. Like, university for me has all been online. Super weird. You never thought that you would, for me at least, I never thought I'd go to university and not be able to be that crazy social animal that I am. Like, I love talking to people, but it's really turned me into an introvert. I'm an extroverted introvert now. It's the strangest thing for me. And I wasn't able to process that at the time. But given the amount of times I've isolated by myself, I've been able to actually dig deep into my own thoughts and my own aspirations and all those types of things to be able to get me a little bit more. Because you're changing all the time, right? The way you think, what you like, what you do. I went from... Actually, no, that doesn't even work, that analogy that I'm thinking of. But I went from being an entrepreneur-ish kid building websites and making marketing plans to the same entrepreneurial kid making websites to wanting to invest in crypto, stocks, build an art dealer of non-fungible tokens and all this crazy, there's so many weird things that are happening in the world that really lighten up the weird and dark stuff that we've all pushed through now. COVID was a bad, bad time, but now it's nearing its end. And I'm excited. I'm excited to see the new beginnings. I'm excited to see where it goes. Because the time of COVID, that era, 2020, and encroaching into this year as well, has affected everybody, right? There's no way to get around it. It's affected businesses. It's affected people, parents, students, everybody. I can't imagine going to elementary school, like toddlers, like kindergarten kids wearing masks and stuff. It doesn't seem like your childhood. You don't get to play with blocks and with your friends and stuff. And it's weird to even think about, right? But once you start thinking about that stuff, you realize that it's what's happening now. You got to push through it, right? And you get to that other level of what I actually want to do and where I'm going to go and what my goals and aspirations are. And for me, I'm double, triple, quadrupling down on my business that I've been talking about for ages. That little 6 months was me planning and building. I had to step back because I needed to break stuff down. I needed to focus, one, on learning how to do a little bit more of online school and actually doing it and focusing on that stuff. Because I would skimp out on my school and focus on the business stuff because I love it more. It's more of an interest to me. I do love the program I'm in because the classes are super interesting. But man, there's nothing like looking at your own creation and pressing publish. Or for a mechanic, starting that car up after finishing and working on it for ages. There's nothing like doing what you really love. And for me, what I love is doing what I love, but that's the dumbest thing ever. What I love is challenging myself to a spot that I've never been able to do before. For me, I challenge myself to see if I could do something in the stock market for a couple days. This is not financial advice, but don't do what I do. It's terrible. It was not the right move. I listened to my friend, and I listened to a Reddit page, Wall Street Bets. Thank you for taking $200 of mine. But no, it's a learning experience, and I'm seeing what I could do with it, how I could understand the market if I could. And no, it is complex, and it's going to take me a couple more years to fully get a grasp of it. Same thing with cryptocurrency. I pushed myself into that. I'm trying to challenge myself through a bunch of money and a couple things and seeing how it's going to play out. I'm going to play the Warren Buffett approach this time, stretch it out a little bit longer than the 2 weeks of the Wall Street bets approach, deep value, a deep F and value, Hello Kitty, that guy. I'm not going to do that. I have to do it my way and really analyze and understand what I think is going to work and what the method is. But you got to take that ideology and move it into your real life too, right? Like, even just communicating with people now, it's completely different because there are the people that are extremely worried about COVID, and then there's people that aren't worried about COVID, and then there's people that have the fine balance in between. Like, half the week they're going to be exposing people, the other half the week they're not going to be exposing people. And it's funny as COVID closes and everybody is kind of been in the COVID idea and like the whole scare, like it's like the Red Scare, it's like the nuclear warfare kind of thing. It's slowly ending, and people, I think, are accepting that, and they're getting it, and they're loosening the rules a little bit, which this works. I'm fine with that. I think people need to live their lives the way they want to live their lives. You can't have people suppressing it, and that just causes more problems in the long run, right? But finding your balance is it. Getting to a spot where you get you, and people in their 40s, 50s, 60s still don't truly understand themselves. A lot of people are faking themselves out for decades because they think they're someone that they're not, or they think they want to do this, but really they want to be a painter. They're working in insurance, but they want to be a fine arts painter. Like, there's so many people that are just stuck in ruts and don't really chase the things they want to chase, because why live a life just to pay bills when you can live life to chase something you actually want to do? And that's something I've talked about before, but it's so true, man. Like, and when I don't have a guest, it's hard for me to just ramble on, even though because I haven't done this in a while. But it's something that I live by, man. Like, if there's something you actually want to do in life, do it. Try, go for it. If you want to be a screenwriter, start writing screenplays, man. Like, just go for it. There's nothing holding you back. And if anything, COVID's taught you that life can be short. Life can be real short. So why waste your time doing things you don't actually care for? Like, I hate the 9 to 5, man. When I worked at Fortino's, man, I could not stand it. I hated it. It was stuck in milk crates, taking moldy cheese off the shelves. That's not something I want to do, and I know I'm never going to do it again. Because I know where I want to go. And I know myself better than I have before, because I've sat down and thought about me and like who I am. What are my faults? I did a full-on SWOT analysis like I was going into a new business. I broke down myself. What are my strengths? What are the threats? What are the weaknesses? What are the opportunities? Like, all that stuff. You have to do that to yourself at some point, and at stages in your life, in chapters in your life. And honestly, if you look at your own life as a chapter book, which is a weird, sad analogy that I'm going to use anyways. Anyway, you have your high school life, you have your middle school life, you have your university life, you got everything after that. Nobody really cares about the after part, but because I don't, because I'm not even there yet. I have no point of reference. But you see people that are stuck in university, still in that high school area. They still bicker. They still point out at people for wearing weird stuff like crop tops in the winter, or they see a group of people walk by and they're making fun of them, and they're doing high school things in a spot that's about learning. Is it really? I don't know. Don't think so for me. I think it's more about learning yourself and maybe getting a piece of paper that makes it look like you know what you're talking about. But that experience needs to be true and thought out, and it's going to be hard for you to find out who you are. I still don't know who I am. I don't know what my real goals and aspirations are, but I do know there are things that I love to do, and I do know those things. You got to find your foundation, and for me, I've definitely found it. I'm running a business for the rest of my life. I'm doing that all day long. But I'm also going to be doing these podcasts again, because talking to people is something I love to do. I need that one-on-one connection with someone that actually means something. And that's something that I've been really, really missing. I've missed this chair. I've missed this microphone. I used to have a table, but now I'm using a Windows 94 Dell computer tower. You got to adapt. I got to change the logo for my thing. There's so many things I got to do, and I just got to find the time to do it. But I love doing it. It's the effort. It's the time. It's doing something I love, because that time that I'm spending doesn't feel wasted, because I know I love it. And I know I want to do it for the rest of my life. And I'll try out a bunch of things. I'll try making vlogs. I'll try doing car videos or doing all these things. But you need to taste things. You need to try as much as possible, especially when you're young, right? Like, I'm doing everything. Even with COVID, like, you gotta see what you can do. Find the restaurants, find the places, meet new groups of people. University is a hodgepodge of people for me. I'm talking with people I would have never met before in my entire life. Different ideas, really crazy ideas. A lot of them are really far-fetched and really funny to me, and I think it's hysterical that someone thinks that way. But that's my opinion. I'm like, it's kind of hilarious. You think this will work? Communism? Okay, whoa. But it's something you can laugh at and learn, and you can see how people interact, and you can see that everybody has a different thought process and different belief system and a different way of life. And you can't, people that hold grudges over that are just simple-minded people. Why does it matter that someone does this, this, and this? Why does it matter that someone wants to be a painter and not a stockbroker or a banker? Why? Just move on. Get out of that simpleton mindset of worrying about other people's thoughts and opinions that I myself subjected myself to for far too long. I think I finally got myself out of it because I always try to dress to impress. And I'm starting to realize from a comment that someone gave me, they said, Carson, you always are dressed nice. And I know that sounds like me tooting my own horn, but it's not. It was more of me hiding an insecurity of who I am through clothes and just covering it up and always trying to one up over someone else. And it was this brutal, narcissistic, ego-driven thing I did. And I've broken away from it, and now I just shade that as, oh, maybe I'm a fashionable person. But no, it's me being someone I didn't want to be. And taking time to think about that really does help. And just breaking yourself down and going, wow, that's what I'm doing. Why? And then it bleeds onto other things you're doing. And you go, no, I can't have this happening. Because once you sit back and think about yourself and go, what am I doing? Why am I doing it? And you really dig deep into yourself and you go, why am I the way I am? Why is this it? And you start to find excuses and blames and exit strategies to just kind of fill up this massive falsehood that you think is going to help you in the long run. Blaming the way your parents raised you, blaming your genetics, blaming all these things. No, you're your own person. You can do whatever you want. You can force doors open to get what you want. There's strategies to do that. There's methods. There's certain things you have to do. They may be tough, but you got to do them. That's what I've learned, man. That hiatus taught me a lot, and I think I'm going to try and find more people that'll push me out of my boundaries. I think that's something I need to do. I need to find people that are going and doing more than me. I want to find the crazy people. I want to find the people that are like Elon Musk. I know that's a dime. That's probably a 1 in 1 million type of person, but that guy is crazy. Even the fact that he went on Joe Rogan and talked about a rocket, the SpaceX rockets, how he changed them just because he thought it was funny to make a joke about the dictator, the movie, the Sacha Baron Cohen movie, The Dictator, is so mind-blowingly hysterical to me that a billion-dollar billionaire still has a sense of humor. And you can put yourself and do whatever you want to do, but if you find the things you like, you can do whatever entertains you, and you put yourself in that position of power and just be you. I want to find people that push the boundaries, do things that people don't think about. I want to subject myself to people that think so far outside of the box, which is outside the box term is an inside the box idea. But I want to find people that just go so far against the grain that they break my brain. I need to find people that are going to be so crazy and so far-fetched that I'm just going to get involved and do something and do something interesting and find that a little niche market that's going to blow the tops off of everybody. I'm seeing that with creators now, man. Like TikTok, I know I stopped using it, but man, there's a lot of people. There's a fashion designer out of Toronto right now, Adam Small, and his stuff is it's beautiful. He's making amazing things. I found this painter out of Nova Scotia, and I really want to have him on the podcast because this kid's the painting. Man, I need money to buy this stuff because I love it, and I'm getting into art, and I'm really interested in like cryptocurrency, like I was saying, and NFTs. You can buy digital paintings, which since it's part of this blockchain system, you can buy a digital image that isn't going to be able to be posted anywhere else. So it's so crazy. I don't even know how to explain it. Please do your own research because I have no clue what I'm talking about when it comes to cryptocurrency. I'm trying to teach myself and it's very difficult. I need to spend the 20, 30 hours to actually get it. But the baseline of it is you can't break this chain of computer code, and you can add an image and people can sell it and then you can buy it and the transactions go through. And then you hold this image, say it's like a mock-up, like a smiley face. Someone gave me that example. A smiley face, and it's just a generic one. But nobody else is going to be able to have that image because it's part of the blockchain and it's posted on this specific network, the Ethereum network. It's crazy. My new dream and aspiration as a side gig is a crypto art dealer. You know how crazy that sounds? That seems like a dream that would be the most insane thing in the world. You watch those movies where people are going through like famous art galleries where Van Goghs and Monets and all those crazy people are there, those paintings. But then you think about it, art's going to transform into an industry that's based on screens now. You're still going to have those beautiful full oil paintings that take up massive canvases, but there's going to be a new section of art, a new entire industry based on transactions between a blockchain network and cryptocurrency, which is evolving and decentralizing banks. And we're in the craziest era of all time. Like, blockchain is the next big thing. Like, I honestly think this whole process of cryptocurrencies and blockchains are bigger, is the second big, like, is bigger than the creation of the internet. It's bigger than the internet. Because it takes the power from people that are in high positions. It takes that whole eat the rich mentality of like take the power from the 1% type thing and puts it in the power of people. And even in the music industry, blockchain is going to be built up to a point where they're no longer going to need the middleman. There's no longer going to be the creator to the record label to the consumer. It's going to be completely removed. It's just going to be creator to consumer immediately. Spotify's going to take up some crazy thing. Apple's going to start pushing on it. And the world's going to go crazy. Like, it's going to be so amazing. Everybody's going to be... The middlemen are removed. Those are the people that take the money, take the coin from the people that deserve it. Like, somebody was talking about how JoJo... No, it was a reference because it was not JoJo Siwa, but it was the baby, how he made a joke about JoJo Siwa, but his net worth is only $4 million because he signed a label early on in his career and just didn't make the money that he should have as a #1 selling artist. That entire area of him losing money is going to be completely flipped on its head because it's going to be from the baby to you. Like, the world is going to change. And you need to change with it. You can't stay the same person you always were. You can't have that high school mentality. Flip the book, flip the pages, get to the next chapter. Do what you have to do. Evolve, learn, challenge yourself. Try and throw money at stocks. Learn it. Learn cryptocurrency. Learn coding. Learn coding. I tried. I failed miserably, but I'm going to try again. You have to teach yourself and always try to evolve. The world is changing rapidly. You need to change with it. You got to roll with the punches. COVID hit us. COVID was a knockout blow, honestly. COVID looked like Nate Robinson when Jake Paul knocked him out. That was brutal. COVID hit us pretty bad. But we got back up. I don't know if Nate Robinson's ever going to get back up, but we're getting back up. We're going to find the things we actually want to do. Run the businesses you want to do. Paint the things you want to do. Build the things you want to do. Be the person you want to be. And just make 2021 a crazy year. I know I'm a little late. I missed it, but hey, that's it. Anyways, guys, thank you for another episode of Carson's Conversations. I'm back. I'm going to have some cool people on next. I missed this thing, man. I get to ramble. And then I got to edit it later and be like, what am I doing? But I get to ramble and break down my thoughts, expressions, emotions, and everything, and I love it, and I miss it. And it might make me lose business opportunities. It might get me kicked out of university, but I don't care because I love doing this, and it's something that if I didn't do, I would be sad. And that 6 months of me not doing it, it really made me sad. Anyways, love you guys. Thank you.